We're back, and it's week 33, and we're doing oysters. And
Amanda's very excited.
Yes, I wore my oyster colors just for the oyster, in honor of the oyster. And I am doing a broiled oyster with a Sriracha lime butter by Melissa V.
And I'm doing fried oysters with a Saffron Aioli by Savory Kitchen.
Excellent.
So 2 cooked oyster dishes, which
Oh, right.
sort of interesting.
Yeah. So you're going to start, right?
I'm going to start just because I need to get my saffron infusing. And actually, I'll show you. I love this saffron box that Amanda has. I think it's so great. So I'm just going to take, the recipe Savory Kitchen calls for pinches of saffron. So I'm gonna translate that as 2 pinches. And put them in this mixing bowl. And I'm going to put a tablespoon of boiling water in here, just so that it starts infusing a little bit, letting off its...
you can see it's already
it's already turning yellow. It's beautiful saffron color. And now back to you.
Yeah, and I'm going to start the lime butter. And so you have some softened butter, and you add some shallots, and some cilantro, salt, some sriracha.
Do you need a measuring spoon for that?
You know, I do, but I'm just going to wing it because I am crazy.
You're crazy like that.
It's a teaspoon, but it's really to taste. Also some lime juice. And it's a tablespoon of that. You just mash it up, and this is actually super fun. It's super fun, and then it gets really frustrating actually because you think, oh, you're gonna make this all into this nice, like, tight compound butter, but then the lime juice doesn't want to actually cooperate. So we just figured out that rather than have a coronary over it, you just leave it, and then you can spoon the little juices onto the oysters later. So you just dab a little bit of the butter. Yeah.
Now you've got buttery hands.
And then these are ready to go into the oven.
So we're just going to move the oysters to the side while we make the aioli. First, you start by separating an egg, and you add the egg yolk to the saffron and the water. We have a mixture of canola oil and olive oil, which is really nice. So Amanda's going to drizzle really slowly while I whisk the heck out of this thing. And you really just want to keep the whisk moving so that it emulsifies. The egg yolk will help it emulsify, but you gotta keep moving. Otherwise you'll end up with a separated sauce.
Yeah, and it gets like super foamy at first, which is kind of beautiful. And then it'll start
smoothing out.
So yeah, getting tighter and thickening.
Oh yeah, it's getting really light.
You see I'm pouring a lot more in now.
Yeah. Which is going to save me just in time. Okay.
So I'm going to start seasoning.
Thank
Salt. Some pepper.
Excellent.
And then some lemon juice. Okay, I think that's good.
Should we taste it? Make sure it's,
yeah,
not poisonous.
Yeah. More salt.
Oh, it's nice and lemony.
Yeah, great.
Fantastic. So now,
here comes James. Yeah. Oh hey, James.
Hello. How are you guys today?
Great. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
James was born and bred in New England, so he is an expert oyster shucker.
Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
That's right. So
let's clear some space so that he can show us. Do a little oyster shucking 101.
And we have the
official.
Yes, the official tool. It's called a screwdriver. It's cool, right?
You could go out and buy an oyster shucker for like $20 or so, or you can just grab a screwdriver out of your toolbox, which is what I like to do.
And we found a small one worked best. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, we had a bigger one which wasn't working out too well, but a small one actually gets in there pretty easily and just pops them right open. You want to take the top half of the shell, which is kind of the flat, smoother side. There's a round side and a flat side, and go into the skinny part of it. Oh, and you definitely want to use a cloth because you can hurt your hand, you can cut yourself, which I have a nice little scar from.
Oh, ouch.
But you go in, right, smooth, nice and easy, and you pop it open, and you don't want to go straight up because you can crack a shell. You want to move around the sides, like so. And then with your hands,
wow.
pop it open and kind of separate it from the muscles up top. And there you go. You got this little...
Oh, beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
Do another one?
Yeah, you can do another one. And then, you know, you can make a mignonette sauce if you're eating them raw. Or, and then you just kind of...
Very nice. How was
So
it?
good.
Good? These guys guys are from Massachusetts, so.
Yeah, the clams
Street.
or the oysters are actually from Duxbury, Massachusetts, which is right by where I live.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
You're
joining
welcome.
us. We really appreciate it.
All right. So now we're gonna head over to the stove.
To the stove.
So the oil's heating, and Merrill and I just wanted to show you our trick for testing whether it's hot enough. You can obviously use a thermometer, but we favor the bread cube technique, which is you throw a bread cube into the oil, and if it toasts in 30 seconds or less, it's ready. So this one is nice and
Beautiful.
it's nice and toasted, and so we're gonna get going with the oysters.
So we've got these drained oysters here. And I'm gonna dredge them very quickly in this mix of Wondra flour, which, do you wanna show that?
Oh yeah,
to-
yeah, great like 1950 style label. And it's regular flour, but it has this like very fine texture, and it clings to things. It's great for coating fish and oysters and such,
And
also
for making
sauces,
gravies, yeah. So this is Wondra flour, some cayenne, and some salt and pepper.
And you want to make sure you dry off the oysters super well, because you don't want any water in there, because it'll just pop and make a big old mess.
So I'm just gonna drop them in carefully. And you probably want to stand back while you're doing this in case they flutter.
They're really quick. They start setting up, but you want to get them nice and brown. I'm gonna call it a day on those, because I don't want they're so tiny.
Overcooked, yeah.
Okay, so we're
Turn off
done.
the oil.
That was easy. And now we're gonna
Put these guys.
Yeah.
Actually, we need to put a little bit of this juice on top. We'll dab the lime.
Yeah. So this is like the lime and sriracha that didn't want to blend into the butter. You just sort of sprinkle it over.
We've got the broiler, the rack up nice and high so that.
Shove that one in a little bit closer. Yeah.
Okay. And you want to keep an eye on them, but they take a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not instantaneous.
So they're about, I would say, 4 inches from the flame. And you can also grill them, but it's about, I don't know, 25 degrees outside. So we just thought broiling
Let's
sounded
get that
really
for
good.
today.
Yeah.
Should we sprinkle some salt and pepper on these
Yeah,
guys so
let's
they're
do
ready to go? There's salt in with the flour, but it doesn't really blend that well because the Wondra is so light.
Yeah.
So you want to just add a little more.
Here, I'm gonna bring the oysters over here, the fried ones.
And I think these guys are just about done. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They look really nice. The butter's all melted and they're curling up a little.
Okay, now it's time to eat.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have one of these first
Me
since
too.
they're
Yeah.
time sensitive.
Yeah. Dip them in.
The aioli, which you put in this lovely little bowl.
A very nicely shucked oyster, I must say.
Very.
Thanks, James.
Not a bit of grit. Mmm.
Okay. And then these
Really
yummy
nice and
little
crunchy.
ones. These are nice because they broil on the tips, so they brown on the tips, but they are also kind of poached in this nice butter.
Yeah, they have the
And
char plus the.
the best part is
Oh my gosh.
this.
Mine didn't have any, but
Mm.
oh, really nice and spicy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
So please vote. We want to hear from you.
Yep.
And yeah,
That's
bon
that.
appetit.